I'm a sinner, left my lover crying on the dance floor. I'm a sinner, I'm a sinner.
Welcome back at Fortnight as Frenni Fazclaires. Gosh, I'll never say the name. Let's see. What should I tell Fexa? Hmm. Meet me at the pizzeria because there's no cameras. I pull out my phone and type a clandestine message while I announcing to watching cameras. I cannot fuck the animatronics. Once I type out my message to meet down at the pizzeria, I show the screen to Fexa. She nods and then plays along. You're right, rule one here at Frenni Fazclaires and can't fuck the waitresses. I'll go down to the pizzeria to help ensure we're caught up for the night. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Smith will see right through that if he checks the logs, but at least I have a plausible deniability. Since I'll be taking the vents to the pizzeria, there won't be any record of me entering the basement. As far as Smith knows, I'll never have left the security office. A quick climb through the vents later, and I emerge into the pizzeria, out of sight and sound of the cameras. Fexa's there already, arms crossed and leaning against a prep station. So, what's this about? Or is the pizzeria truly in dire straits? Fexa lifts up her... She always goes to different voices. Fexa lifts up her wrappings over her eye. I understand her urgency immediately. The previously covered eye is green. How? Not sure. Smith tried to run an update on my conversational suit, but it didn't take. Well, he thinks it did, but in reality it broke some of the hold he has over me. My mind is mostly my own, just like it was during the thunderstorm. Shit. Is Smith updating all the girls' conversation suits? That means I'm running out of time. Yeah, certainly seems that way. I think Chiku is slated for the upgrade 2 nights from now, while Frenni isn't in Smith's crosshairs on account of her already being a customer favorite. What do you plan on doing? What do I plan on doing? Speak her true name and see what happens. Fuck it and go for it. I'm not positive that speaking Fexa's true name will do anything in this situation, but it's worth a try. I'm going to try something. I think I know who you once were. Fexa freezes mid-motion, as her normal eye pulses red. Whatever you're doing, make it quick. My blocks do not like this conversation. You used to be Wee Young Me, a senior studying architecture at Waterfall Institute. You were on the dance team and did a bunch of wargaming. Her normal eye rapidly flashes between red and green. Then it lands on green and stays that way. I know who I am, Jane. I know who I am. You did it. You fucking beautiful person. You did it. Oh, wow. So the font changes color, I think. She tackles me, violently kissing and licking every part of my face, as she can get to. She's not actually trying to make out with me. If anything, she's like an overly excited puppy seeing their master after they've been away a long time. Even Fexa's tail is swishing in hyper mode. I don't want to ruin her well-deserved good mood. I apply loving pets to her head and try coaxing her down naturally. It takes 10 minutes for Fexa to stop aggressively fawning over me. I'm sorry, I got carried away. Reasonable. I think given what you've been through, let's make sure you can stay free of Smith's control and out of his notice, though. Can you manage your eye color and server connection? Fexa blinks. Her eye goes blue and red before stopping on red. Rule 1 of Frenni Fazclaires nightclub. If you can't fuck you cannot fuck the waitresses. Then her eye turns pink and she winks. But there's no rule against fucking Wee Young Me. I'll take that as a yes then. I know this is asking a lot, but do you think you can keep up the act until I figure out how to free the other girls? For you, yes, and maybe I can help with that. I don't have any memories from the time in the server room, but I am an architect. I can tell you the room has to be tied to a secret breaker panel away from the main one. Otherwise, there'd be too much power flowing through there, and it'd be a real fire risk. There's also a separate HVAC unit next to the main one that supplies extra ventilation directly to the server room. Otherwise, the server would cook themselves to death from all the excess heat. Granted, half this place isn't up to code to begin with, but Smith isn't stupid when it comes to controlling us. He'll have a breaker somewhere he can keep an eye on it. Like in his office? Likely, yes. If you remember the thunderstorm, there's a few fail-safes. If power is cut completely to the server room. Sorry, my throat's starting to hurt. Give me a second. One of which is notifying Smith. But you could probably cut the power to just the security system on the entrance and still get in without alerting Smith. That's good information. Thanks, Vexa. Shame I can't call you by your real name now without Smith finding out. Yeah, something similar happened with Chiku back before when Mike was the night guard. You can probably guess what happened to them when Smith caught on. I've heard about this Mike before. Do you know his last name? Schmidt, I think? Smith wiped my memory of his number or address, though, so that's all I can tell you about him. That's something, at least. Vexa nods and then snuggles closer. So, what you want to do now? Honestly, probably fuck you silly. Actually, I have to keep working towards freeing you all. I need to find a good time and place to reveal Chiku's name before Smith runs that update. I recommend doing it sooner rather than later to be on the safe side. She's recharging for the rest of the night, but I can make sure she saves enough power for the next few evenings if you want to flag her down. Thanks, Vexa. We should probably get out of here before we give Smith a reason to check the logs. Oh, before you go, I took a task list for the night from the security office door. Vexa reaches into her cleavage and pulls out a note from Smith. On it, it's 2 tasks. Clean up the repair area and do not fuck the animatronics. Wonderful. At least the list is short. If you need me, I'll be in my recharge pod. Okay, so we can skip all this. Yeah, I'm enjoying this so far. Okay, so, I continue researching missing persons. Okay, so there's nothing there. During my time at the club, I've only briefly passed by Smith's office so as to not cause suspicion. From what I can tell, it was an Iron Turtle branded smart lock, and as luck would have it, I find a video on that exact lock in question. It's only 2 minutes long, which bodes well for my plan. On paper, the lock seems great. Built-in Wi-Fi, unlocks from the smartphone app, and a non-standard physical key design to prevent easy copying. However, the video shows how the standard lock-picking rake can pop open the lock via the hidden key slot in mere seconds. That means if I can kill the Wi-Fi and or the power, I should be able to gain access fairly quickly. Did Lockpicking Lawyer do a review of it? Soon my shift comes to an end. Again, if you guys want to watch this live, just become a member on YouTube, either here or on Sinfully Pure, a Twitch member, or a Patreon or Subscribestar member. All of them get access to the Discord and can watch these live because they're awesome. I've made it through another night somehow. So I think we're just about caught up. When I get home, Zero is nowhere to be found. Her plushie is still there though, and so I'm not at all but worried. It's been a long day, so I settle into the bed, hugging her plushie. Zero's plushie is still in my arms as I yawn and start to roll out of bed. I have some time to do research before work. Continue researching. I call upon Zero and sit against her on the bed. With her help, I'm able to research magic more efficiently. I continue to research the paranormal. It's getting time. Okay, so we can skip. I get why I have to do it. I just wish it wasn't necessary. Zero would likely sleep with me in an instant if I asked, but I don't want our lovemaking to lose its zest or appeal. Yeah, go for it. So I think this is where we left off last time, and now we have much more. Something feels off when I get inside the nightclub. It's similar to the sensation I felt when Zero was haunting me, but somehow more sinister. I feel like there's someone right behind me at all times, no matter how many times I look. Even when I get to the security room and check the feeds, there's no sign of anyone stalking me. I shake my head and read the note Smith left on the desk. New girl's finally here, kid. She's in the 5th pod. See to it that she meets the other girls and ensure she's Rule 1 compliant. But don't go breaking Rule 1 either. I will know. Ciao. A new girl? Fuck! That means someone else has gone missing. Could it be a student from Waterfall Institute? I turn my attention to the cameras in the animatronics room and see that the 5th recharge pod is filled by a large animatronic. What the fuck is that thing? Her body is overall white. Did somebody paint Kisa? Is that what happened? Man, she's gonna start stabbing people if somebody put paint on her. Don't fuck with the angry albino. With black X markings and stripes here and there. It has special joints that I'm guessing let her control how wide and tall she is to some degree. Exaggerated makeup and painting covering her face plate, not unlike classical theater or carnival masks. The pod name tag reads Mary. The timing of Mary's arrival is suspect. I don't think Smith's caught on to my machinations thus far, but for a new girl to show up right in the middle of upgrades to the original girls? Uh-oh, she's going to control them, isn't she? People are saying it's a puppet, so does that mean she's going to control them? For all I know, he could be scrying on me. No, wait. Scrying is only thing in Dungeons and Dragons. Zero clarified that pretty early into my research in paranormal. Still, I don't like the fact that Mary's here now. I have no idea where her loyalties lie, let alone why Smith wants me to make sure she's Rule 1 compliant. Shouldn't he have done that before unleashing her into the club? I decide to bring Zero in on this. New girl showed up at the club. I think Smith's up to something. Mind checking things out? I can get close to the new girl. She's warded like the server room. That means I can't suggest things to her, possess her body, or really be in that same area as her. Great, so she's a walking dead zone. Thanks for trying. Well, there's only one thing for me to do now. I head to the animatronics room. Once I'm outside Mary's pod, I look to the nearest camera and repeat my oath. I will not fuck the animatronics. Then I tap the open button on the pod and step back. There's a hiss as the pod opens up and disgorges Mary onto her feet. Her eyes flutter open, followed by her stretching and yawning. When she speaks, her voice has the hint of foreign accent. Australian, maybe? Yeah, you're getting what you're getting with me. I was having such a nice dream. And who might you be, little fella? No, that's not the voice I want to be. I was having such a nice dream. And who might you be, little fella? I'm Jane Black, the night guard. Do you know your name and where you are? Of course, Her eyes flash red before turning blue. I'm Mary. I'm the new girl at Frenni Fazclaires nightclub, home to the best and safe adult entertainment. And when it comes to safe adult entertainment, do you know the rules of the nightclub? Rule 1 is not to fuck the customers, right? Close. It's do not fuck the animatronics, period. It's the most important rule that keeps the nightclub running smoothly. Mary steps closer within arm's reach of me before tilting her head to the side. Aw, that means you and I can't have a little fun? Damn. Nope, sorry. Not unless you want me to lose my job. Her eyes flash blue once more. Right, you're the night guard. That means you're the highest authority in the building during the night shift. What, do that? That's correct. I like to keep things simple and stress-free. You're free to move about the club if your recharge sequence ends early. All I ask is that you don't interrupt me if I'm doing something and that you listen to any orders I give you. Mr. Smith, the owner, likes to leave a list of tasks for me to get done before his shift is over. They usually take time and effort to accomplish before the night's out. Another flash of blue. Right. Mr. Smith is the one who created me. His goal was to create a bartender to replace the high turnover rate of normal bartenders during the day shift. The fuck happens to the... How much do you work the bartenders? Just have like 2 or 3 of them at the bar. Then you're in charge of the bar? I bet you'll get all kinds of extra tips. Jesus, woman! That's the thumbnail. She remind you guys of a spider almost? But just not the kind I really want. Oh well, can you show me where I'll be working? I have a map of the club in my memory banks, but I'm terrible with directions. Yeah, she reminds me of a spider. Guys, did someone just paint Akina? Not Akina, sorry. She's a waitress. Kisa. Sure, right this way. And if this is a ploy to stare at my ass, remember, no touching, rule 1. Aw, but can I look all I want, right? Sure. Yay! The same sinister feeling of being watched returns as I lead Mary to the bar. At least now I know why my ass feels like it's in danger. Thankfully, Mary doesn't cause any trouble for now. And here we are, hard to miss, but I suppose it might be different when this place is full of customers. Smith has me doing restock duty sometimes, so if you run out of anything, just let me know. Just let him or me know. Mary slides behind the bar and begins inspecting the various liqueurs, taps, and bottles available to her. Quite the selection here. 20 different beer taps, 50 or so various liquors, and more mixers than is really necessary. Not to mention some of those bottles might be worth more than I am. No wonder Mr. Smith needs constant, dependable bartenders. She grabs Kahlua, vodka, and vanilla cream, as well as a glass and some ice. There's no rule against serving you drinks, is there? I settle onto the bar stool. Nope. Just comes out of my paycheck. You've got the makings of a white Russian there, if I'm not mistaken. Always wanted to try one. My voice went glitchy. Well, that's perfect then. Mary smiles, her hands moving with the kind of skill and grace that only comes with actual experience over several years. So she was formerly a bartender. Then settle in, mate. I'm about to make you the best white Russian under $20 that you'll ever have. Yeah, I'm not doing an Australian accent. I don't want to practice. I'm lazy. She's not wrong. When I take a sip of the cocktail, I'm blown away by the texture and the decadent taste. It's smooth, creamy, and overall a great taste. That's pretty damn good. Seems you got the bartender thing nailed down. Do you think Smith's going to keep you behind the bar at all times? The other girls all sing, dance, or otherwise perform for the customers. Anything like that. Wrong voice. The other girls all sing, dance, or otherwise perform for customers. Anything like that in your wheelhouse? Aside from bar tricks, let me see. Her eyes pulse blue several times as I assume she's checking her programming. I can dance, and I'm always available to offer customers the extra special VIP package. What's this extra special VIP package exactly? Does it break Rule 1? Nope. Mr. Smith doesn't consider offering body shots at a 500% markup to be a violation of Rule 1. Not gonna lie, that's actually pretty good. That man is not stupid. Let's be real. Guys are stupid and they'll pay the price. Interesting. The other girls seem to be more restricted in that regard. Speaking of, you may want to introduce yourself to them soon. I can help smooth things over if you need me to. I don't know if they'll be awake anytime soon, though. It's a toss-up who completes their recharge sequences early. I think I'll be fine, but thanks for the offer. My conversation suit is just as advanced as the other girls. Does that mean Bonfi and Fexo were test subjects for the software upgrade? That's good to know. That sort of thing will come in handy while manning the bar. Think you could pass along any weird rumors or troublemakers I should keep a lookout for? I might be the night guard, but it helps to know what issues the day shift deals with. I think I can do that, sure. Cool. This might seem like an odd question, but you have this aura about you. Any idea what that might be? Mary's eyes flash crimson for an extended period before she laughs it off. For someone that doesn't want to / can't fuck me, you certainly aren't adverse to flirting. No dice there. At least I have some major clues to work with whenever I go searching for missing people later on. She's Aussie. Fuck you, no, she's not. I'm not doing it. A bartender, and her name likely begins with the letter V. There can't be many of those, even if I go back a few years. I decide to pass my comment off as a joke. Just checking your Rule 1 restraints. Last question before I leave you to do it. Do you have something like a bouncer's mode if one of the patrons gets rowdy or needs to be kicked out? I've bounced enough bars to know that a bartender is a lord of their domain. Mary leans over the table, squishing her tits on the surface as she answers. Or she could just climb into the ceiling like that. That works too. Oh, I'm quite capable of dealing with people making trouble for Mr. Smith. Don't worry, Jane. I'll keep the day shift safe. I smile, finish my drink, and thank Mary, then return to the security room. If what Fexa said last night is true, tonight is the last time I'll be able to use Chiku's real name to free her. Otherwise, Smith will run an update on her and it'll be too late. The question is, do I risk freeing Chiku with Mary now in the picture? I'm gonna try it. Let's do it, chat! It may not be safe for me to try and free Chiku with Mary around, but I have to try. I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I didn't do everything I could to make these girls' lives less hellish. No risk, no reward, as they say. I beeline for Chiku's pod and wake her up from her rest. Okay, you know what? No, nest is funnier. She yawns and stretches as her eyes flutter open. Hey Jane, why'd you stop my recharge sequence early? I speak to her for a benefit of cameras, saying, I show her my phone that says play along. I was hoping I could have you make me a pizza. I'm aware that it'll come out of my paycheck. Chiku's eyes widen slightly before she nods. A pizza? Sure. I can go make you one. Excellent. Please deliver it to me outside the security room when it's ready. I wink and Chiku nods once more. She departs for the pizzeria while I head back to the security room. Since I'll be taking the vent to the pizzeria, there won't be a record of me entering the basement. As far as Smith will know, I'll never have left the security office. True to her word, Chiku is making me a pizza when I arrive. I rush from the vent, keenly aware that I might not have much time before Mary catches on. Do you trust me, Chiku? I have to try something before it's too late to do so. She stops what she's doing to give me her full attention. I do. What is it? You used to be Sophia Hart, a cheerleader and sophomore at Waterfall Institute studying nuclear engineering. Holy shit! Holy shit, that thing is gonna kill us. We made a mistake in life. In an instant, Chiku has me pinned against the wall. Her eyes are rapidly flashing between red and green. Perhaps I screwed up? I must. Her eyes land on green and stays that way. You did it, Jane. You broke the code lock Mr. Smith had on me. Glad to hear it. Can you, let me down now? She gently releases me, then looks at her body as if seeing it for the first time. I can't believe this is what Mr. Smith turned me into. But I'm free now. I don't have to do what he tells me. Although, maybe I still should until you freed all the other girls. If he catches on, he might do bad things to them. To me, to you. You're probably not wrong, but at least your mind is your own now, yeah? Yeah. I can play pretend easily. Even falsify my internal recordings to fool Mr. Smith. I could kiss you senseless right now, but I don't want to risk it. There's way too much data flowing through my head right now. But maybe later? I flash her a smile. Later sounds great. For now, finish the pizza so we can close out this charade. You've got it, Jane. 10 minutes later, I have an amazing pizza and a far less heavy conscience. Chiku's gone back to recharging and Mary hasn't left the bar. I can do some research on my phone before 3 a.m. rolls around. I want to see if my hunch is correct and Mary isn't affected by the camera loop bug. Alright, let's see. Let's do some more research on local persons. Okay, so... I continue. Okay, so I'm just trying to see if we get anything special. Okay, so it doesn't do anything. In furthering my understanding of wards, I've discovered 3 important types relevant to things here at the nightclub. First, there is a memory obliteration ward that Madame Chi-Yun mentioned. This kind of ward is designed to erase biological and technological records of anything in the area of effect. That might be partially why the girls don't have records of anything that goes on in Smith's office or the server room. Second, there's magical detection wards meant to sense and alert when someone attempts magecraft nearby. Smith probably has those both on his office and on his person. Third, there is a soul binding ward. This must be how Smith bound the girls' souls to the animatronics. These are hard to dispel, let alone create, in the first place. I'd need instructions from the master in order to understand how to modify, create, and destroy one. Unfortunately, there's no such masters available on the internet. Not legit ones, anyway. Brings me to 3 a.m. I keep my eyes on the cameras to see if the loop bug is still present. Mary's at the bar, so she's my metric for this. When the bug time hits, she keeps moving about in a very not looped manner. Did Smith find and fix the bug? I quickly step out of the security room and wave at the hallway camera while keeping an eye on the screens. Don't show up. Odd. I don't show up. Odd. I head towards the bar, taking note of which camera I pass to check the feed later. Mary stops arranging bottles as I approach. Everything alright there? Just doing my usual rounds. There's a few dead spots in the camera angles that I might have to check manually. How diligent of you. Well, don't let me get in your way. I'll be fixing the bar for the rest of the night. Things are a mess back here. I'll leave you to it then. I return to the security room and pull up the camera feed playback. That's when things get even more weird. I don't even show up on any of them during the loop time. Even when I talk to Mary, I've been a ghost this entire time. It's as if she's always on camera no matter what looping takes place. That's both a boon and a problem. I'll always know where she is, but if Smith scrutinizes the feeds, he might catch onto any camera loop. I risk contacting Zero to see if she can provide any further insight into Mary. Explain everything that's happened so far and add, is there any kind of ward that can mess with technology? Depending on the nature of the ward in question, it can anchor a spot or person. In this instance, Mary's ward keeps her omnipresent as far as security systems are concerned. They also would act as a magical guard dog, able to sense if anyone uses magic near them. I've stayed far enough away so far, but I won't be able to help you at night unless you figure out a way to get Mary out of the club or deactivate her. Damn, thanks for letting me know. That just leaves me another chunk of time to do more research before my shift's over. I've almost got this all the way up. I've somehow made it through another night. So we'll do one more night. When I get home, Zero's plushie is still waiting in its usual spot. All it takes is poking the nose a few times for the genuine article to appear. You rang? Just wanted to make sure you're okay after the whole Mary thing at work. Aw, that's sweet of you. As I said, I stayed far enough away from her to prevent any problems. Good, good. Now advice on how to deal with her? Unless you figure out a way to free her, keep your distance. I figured as much. Still good advice. I have a feeling she's basically Smith's new attack dog. Probably yes. Oh well, I need to do some research before I sleep. Thanks for the help, Zero. She gives me a hug and evaporates away, just until just her plushie remains on my bed. Time for research. We're very close to the paranormal. Let me see if any of them... There we go. I've done all the paranormal research I can do on my own. At this point, I'd have to find a real practitioner to learn more. In trying to find someone who could teach me, I come across hints that there may be some form of government-regulated organizations meant to monitor and police the use of magic. It wouldn't surprise me if magic cops really existed. But if they do exist, then they're totally dropped the ball on policing Smith's bullshit. That's all I can do for now. My bed is calling me, and I will not disappoint it. I've got time for a little more research. Okay, so we've done that. And continue researching local missing persons. There we go. So one more night, and then we can relax. Frenni and Fexa are up on stage when I get to the club. Fexa's seated at the grand piano, while Frenni, I should not have said one more night, sensually leaning against... You know what? We'll leave it here, and we'll come back to this next time. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.